We already have all around. No, rural medical. You know, with the paramedic companies, when they go out to the
Community
administrator,
medicine, yeah, community care medicine.
yeah. I think we call it paramedicine.
Paramedicine.
Yeah, paramedicine.
Good, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. See, we're a little past 6:30. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Township of Nipissing Council meeting, Tuesday, September 3rd. And I ask first if there's any disclosure of pecuniary interest.
Yes.
Let's see. A mention from Councillor Foote. We'll keep that in mind later on. We'll go to committee reports and we'll start with Councillor Yam.
Thanks, Mayor Piper. I don't have a whole lot, but we had Heritage Day and Jillian will be doing a report to us tomorrow night at our meeting. So then we'll have all the information. But the weather was very poor, but we had a good turnout. I think probably 125 people. Jillian and her staff and Kim had it so organized. It was easy. Like everything was simple to do. We had so many compliments from people that come every year, how organized. All the displays have been refined. They're laid out so easy. A lot of feedback on that. And then I had Bob Bartlett in with me, so that made life real easy. So anyhow, the whole day went good. People started backwards this time, come to the hardware store first because it was raining, and so it was interesting for everybody. So
You did hardware store?
I was a hardware store guy. Yeah, I'm starting a home hardware.
Okay.
And, but no, it was a good day,
Good, because.
and the band was great.
Oh, yeah?
The band was
Yeah.
phenomenal. Yeah, good music. So, and the Burks were good. The firemen did a good job, like while you're set up well for it to kind out of the rain. So everybody was happy. So food smelled good all day.
Okay, any questions? We'll go to Councillor Foote.
Nothing from me.
Okay, and yes.
I have nothing.
Okay, so Councillor Kirky.
All I have is from the Ottawa trip, and Impact sat in on that one, and they're still waiting for stuff to come down the pipes from them to start, so we still have no idea when that's gonna go. They did set in on a rural medical association. They're doing these hubs. But this is more pertinent to Southern Ontario. I didn't get a whole lot out of it because we have paramedicine here, which we do through, that is,
I think it's through the EMS, is it not?
it's, yeah, EMS, but yeah, and it seems to be what's working good here. Everybody seems to like it, so. What else? And then, of course, the Hummel Bridge thing, but Worship is going to speak to that in a minute, I am sure. I'll fill
And what I
in
missed?
whatever blanks.
Sure.
That's all I have. We won't have his name until tomorrow night. Then the 16th will have weather.
Okay, well, we indeed, that was first Heritage Day I missed because we did go to the AMO conference. Chris has a copy if you want to see what I had to say. I got it down to 5 minutes and 16 seconds. They had hundreds of delegations. And we thought we were the last, but we weren't. We were just before a break. And then they had another group after that. They only asked 2 questions. We mentioned that OPG refused our monetary request. And then I kind of missed it, but they said, do their trucks use the bridge? And I went, what do you mean? Do they cross the bridge? And they went, hydro trucks. And I went, well, they did until the bridge was closed. So I don't know if they thought they should have to pay a tariff to go over the bridge or not, but that was one question. And then when we gathered at the end, her question was, why didn't we ask the MTO to pay for the bridge? I said, it's not a provincial highway. It's not an MTO bridge. Oh,
It's not a connecting link either.
right, connecting link. So that was all. And then we did mention, you know, if there's anything you want or need from us. And they suggested coffee because they were really tired.
They looked like they were really, all of them were wet. right now.
Yep. You know, I think you could have gone like this and they would have still been looking. But anyway, we did. We went to rural caucus, listened to a bunch of speeches, and the only person we knew was Tanya Vraybosch. And we listened. There were 2 women running for AMO president. I think we all picked the wrong one on that because one we voted for lost. She was from Fort Francis, I think, and the other one was closer to Kingston. All of the sessions, and this is the book, all the sessions are online, but a few notes. We did go to long-term care. There was one called the Life Cycle Look at Recreation Infrastructure. And there's a recreation grant out right now, but it's 50%. They'll pay 50, you pay 50, unless you're Aboriginal, they'll pay 80. But we don't qualify. The other one I went to, and last time I went to one called Caring Communities. And I thought it was customer care, but it turned out it was a whole session on the LGBTQ plus community and whatever. And I was kind of out of my element. I didn't get a lot of it. But this time I thought innovative customer solutions. I thought Kim, Chris, great for the office. And it turned out it's about service line warranties. They'll warranty your pipe from the road to the house or from your house back out. And that's what it was all about. And $6 a month for from the road to your house, or $7 a month inside your house. So that's what it was all about, you know. So and the other one I went to was Aging in Place, and that was community wellness hubs. And the biggest thing I think we both picked up out of that was, as of this year in Japan, they sell more adult diapers than they do baby diapers. That will hit Canada by 2025. There will be more people on diapers here than there will be babies. So that scared me. And then the guy looked around and he said, and I see a few clients in here while I speak. You know, and I'm thinking, hope he wasn't looking at Steve and I.
Well, you look at the room and the demographic in the room are all over 60, where majority, I would say 90% over 60. So that was one of those awkward moments where everybody was looking around the room and going,
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway.
Trying to see what people were wearing. And then the election, Tanya Vraybosch did win. She's one of the AMO board directors. And we were there for the ministers forum. And our minister, the minister we had talked about, you know, infrastructure and everything like that. She did mention that most of it was tied to housing development. But at the very end, she said, and I am so proud, the Premier and I are so proud with our next great undertaking as we move the Science Center to Ontario Place. And when she said that, a round of boos, you know, and then she left, and that was the end of it. So it was entertaining, to say the least. And
I think it was the Southern contingent that was up in arms about that.
yeah, they very well seem to be, and other than that, I mean, a lot of funding announcements, but all with, there was always a hook to it, you know, it wasn't just, we're
Yeah.
gonna give you 90% or 80% or whatever, so that, it was an interesting time,
3,300 delegates this year,
yes.
the largest one in their history.
And the guy they went after the most was Minister Calander,
Yeah.
municipal affairs. And the two biggest things were code of conduct at council meetings. And I mean, people were crying, telling them what was happening at their council meetings. And it was not with the general public. It was
It was internal.
internal.
Oh,
People had actually been, the one was 29 letters to the integrity commissioner. And this counselor was actually threatening the lives of their counselors and their kids, you know? And I think they said he had lost 1 month pay or something.
Well, right now, the integrity commissioner only has that power to withhold, I think it's up to 180 days of stipend.
Right.
That's it.
And,
That's
and
the
so
call.
this guy lost it and now he's back. And like, these people are literally crying, you know?
Yeah,
So-
because he's still allowed to have his seat.
Mhm.
Even
Yeah,
though he's not making any money, he can still have his seat.
and I think that's where the argument was. What they wanted was something a little more, keep him out of the chamber because the chamber is a battleground right now. And you don't need that, like, you know.
It's happened all around us.
yeah, it has. So anyway, it was interesting.
Listen to Doug Ford.
Yes, we did listen to Mr. Ford and he's very optimistic. But as one guy pointed out, the number of money that he said they put out would bankrupt the entire province and cancer. So they don't know where all the figures came from. But, you know, I think again, we released it now, we release it again in 6 months. And a year from now, we haven't released it, so now we can say it again. So if you do it 3 times, it might work. So now we'll probably all go to heck for saying that. But anyway,
So the bucket beer is coming out then, it's just third announcement's coming.
It'll
yes.
be $1.50 by the time it gets here.
But
Inflation.
we did learn a lot, I think,
Yeah.
and
that was-
we'll go from there. So that should be all the committee reports. So we can move on to the minutes of the meeting held August 13th. So if I had a mover and a second, okay, Councillor Yam, and of course I'm still here. Councillor Yam, Councillor Curti. And it's number R 2024-170, moved by Councillor Yam, seconded by Councillor Curti, that the minutes of the regular council meeting held August 13th, 2024 be adopted as published. All in favor? Carried. Okay, the second one, and Will has put this out today,
No, I,
or Chris did, on behalf of the Nipissing Fire. And that's for the fire protection grant.
Oh,
no, that's, this is the same.
Okay, I'm jumping ahead, sorry,
You are?
I was excited about that one. Okay, the next one is the quotation from Cedar Signs for the purchase of caution signage for Hummel Bridge closure, parking direction signs and supplies. It's all in there. We've had some questions. You've got a map there. It shows wherever the yellow is on that map. That's where the signs are going. If I'm not mistaken, on both sides of the road.
yeah, it'd have to be.
And they have to be able to see from one side to the next, because if they can't see a sign, then they can park there and say there was no sign. So I didn't see a sign, so I parked here. So that's why there's a high number of signs. But this wasn't in our initial budget.
Yeah, the amount is over the authorized amount from me, from a position. And it wasn't in one budget line item. We can take it from within our budget right now for bylaw enforcement, health and safety, emergency preparedness. There's different accounts that we can take this from, but so I'm not concerned about a deficit at the end of the year. It just wasn't a budgeted amount for this project.
Does seem steep for signage.
It does.
It's just,
It's a bit, I drove it, it's a large area, right? I mean, it's a large area to cover for signage. And now that we're not having overnight parking at the,
It's a considerable spot for, we're gonna be towing. There was information given last year. It creates quite a problem.
now this also covers the signage for the parking lot itself. The no nighttime parking and all that.
We still have to get those.
yeah, I think,
We have those made locally.
Oh, okay.
and those are, yeah, those we just put up where the, their sign is, like the framework is there, just gotta change the signage.
Those aren't
So it
nearly
should be.
expensive.
I mean, yeah, the U flanges, they're expensive. I mean, I've contacted two different suppliers. I mean, Cedar Signs was a lot better pricing than local, so.
Yes, and we included the second quote that we got. This is our normal supplier was Hubble's, but
Yeah.
the pricing just didn't match up.
We're gonna have to put a U flange for every sign we put up, we have to put a U flange in.
And the cost of installation, how many man hours?
Might be a good day, 2 days to do it. 2 days, I would think.
We have 200 U flags.
Well, we needed, we needed over, I think they come in bundles of 50. I think, yeah, we needed over 2 bundles, like,
Yeah, because you can't buy them individually.
well, you can, but we're paying for the shipping, so I mean. It was, I think it was about 2.5 bundles we needed.
And hopefully this will stop the parking abuse on those roads where last winter, I know Will was daily. Or not daily, more than daily.
I mean, the only other thing we could try is signing half, we'll go halfway down the roads. And see, because I don't think anybody's gonna be parking by your place, Dave,
No,
to go to, that, where they load their ice that's off and off.
no, the main parts are Rocky Shore, about 300 meters but
Yeah, and then, that's, we just got the price brought to council.
yeah.
So on this map, everybody's got the map. So it's gotta be past the parking lot. Do you have a map, Dan?
Yeah, we're gonna have to go past the park. Like, the other problem is the roads got a lot of lines and bends to them, so your line of sight isn't that great, right? So you, like I said, you always gotta have line of sight to the signs from one to the next.
Can you kind of remember the rules or not? Do you not have a no parking with an arrow
Yeah,
this direction and then,
and I was getting some with the arrows, but like I said, as soon as you break a corner and you can't see that sign, then it's obsolete.
yeah. You have to put a
I
double arrow up and
Yeah.
then carry on down.
Right. No, it's, like I said, it's a large area,
Mid challenge.
and like I said, with all the curves and bends, you lose your line of sight pretty quick. And then you have to do that on both sides of the road because you just can't put it to the one because you're not gonna go to the other.
Yeah.
And I don't think we have to, again, we could try not going so far, Birch Grove, I don't think we need to go all the way to Lakeview, but again, who knows? I mean,
That's a difference in how many signs, though.
yeah, to get to that.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be
No.
Yeah,
enough
that's the
savings.
difference in that point, right?
5,000 to 11,000.
Yeah, cause you're,
Right now.
you're getting a Lakeview, you're getting like
So,
3 mile away, right? Yeah.
So we came to Gardens and maybe went like halfway
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
That few kilometer deep.
Take it.
Yeah,
Well, you look at the lots are a quarter mile wide, for sure, so it's basically 3 lots to the corner.
Yeah.
But are they gonna go down that far? So that's what he's just saying, if we take it only halfway down
Birch Grove.
Birch Grove and maybe stop at Garnet's, we could probably cut out, what you say, 20,
Yeah,
20 signs?
maybe.
20, 30, but is it, we're still, so we cut out 20 or 30 signs and it's 50 to a bundle. We're still buying the extra bundle.
Yeah, like I said,
Am I correct? Am I thinking?
yeah, but we have 200 posts, we have 76 signs.
no, I wouldn't go that far off on the toes.
Yeah, how many signs? 76? I thought it was, I don't know.
70.
Yeah, 110 footers, 108 footers.
Oh, no, Dave, Counselor, yeah, I'm sorry, that, I just got 2 different prices on the 8-footers and 10-foot,
Oh.
U flange, just to see the difference in costing. In case I
Okay,
needed higher U flanges.
okay,
So it's just, I was just gonna go with the 8-foot flanges.
Yeah.
So we're half of that.
yeah, okay,
So I'm pretty much matched with the signs, sorry.
yeah,
I think I got 2 bundles because we're
Yeah,
at 70.
yeah,
Okay, that
So the
makes sense.
total price won't be,
It won't be 11,000 then.
It'll
no,
be 7 or
yeah,
60, 66.
Be
or
taking out
67.
that 45.
yeah,
Yeah, well, you'll be running 36, yeah, you'll be running the $3,600.
Instead of, and take out the 45.
Yeah.
45.
Okay,
Yeah.
that changes everything.
Oh, that changes
Yeah.
everything.
yeah.
Oh,
So, and then if, like you say, if we went halfway down Lakeview, do you think?
Yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna pass that.
I
So it
don't
takes
either.
it down to $7,000.
And the same with if we went to Garnet's.
Yeah, Links Beach.
Is
And-
Garnet
Just before Garnet's, because you
631?
can't park there at the
Right,
guardrail thing.
right.
Yeah,
so that could reduce a few signs.
So the signage was right, like I said, I just priced 2 different size
Yeah.
U flanges because I didn't know,
Yeah,
height wise.
Did you include signage in there for Chapman's Landing?
I added a couple extra, yeah.
I'm just gonna recalculate for this resolution.
Like, once you do half, winter comes, you're gonna, like, if you wanna put out more, you're gonna be,
Well, we won't be able
You
to,
won't.
this will be a learning curve for this year. If they park past those signage, then we need to sign the rest of it.
yeah, yeah,
But they spread it out.
But I mean, that covered a big area, pretty big area.
it is a
We did
big
half.
area, yeah. Like calendars, no parking signs, I don't know if you've ever drive through calendar, like there's 30, 40 feet on hydro poles. They're on trees.
Yeah, I was just trying to eliminate,
Have you ever go
I
through
didn't see them.
Out in the, well, I got a parking ticket in calendar last year. And I was there when it was writing it, I said, there's no parking sign. Down there, a couple 100 feet on the hydro pole, so we walked down the road and sure enough, if you drove down the road like this, you would see them thrown in people's lawns.
And that's why I kind of,
Yeah,
I was trying to put every scenario.
yeah,
so
You're
this,
gonna- You're gonna hear every story about why he doesn't need a ticket, shouldn't pay it.
yeah,
so this reduces that bill to 69.60.
6373 if you lower the tax.
Oh, okay. Oh, right, I didn't do the whole, I just took the raw. signage.
And we get the tax back mostly, so.
That's a little more palpable,
Yeah.
much more palpable.
In that case, I should ask for mover and seconder.
I'll move.
Councilor Foot.
Did you order the hardware to go with this?
Yeah, the nuts and bolts.
No, you're not using blocks or just nuts and bolts?
Yeah, we have the blocks.
So it's number R 2024-171, moved by Councilor Foot, seconded by Councilor Kirkby, that we approve the quotation number S03 or SO 30705 from Cedar Signs for the purchase of caution signage for the Hummel Bridge closure and parking directions, signs and supplies. Total amount $6,373.21, including taxes. Comments, questions? All in favor? Carried.
I just last week.
Oh, yeah, no, we're just gonna finish up.
Oh, yeah. and you still get the last one.
Yeah.
And is there something else you wanted to mention about culverts?
Yes, so I have been contacting Provincial Underground for the relining of these pipes and, nothing, quite often through the summer. And then when I was on holidays, I kind of got a little alley with them to see where they were. And, so I received a letter back from them stating that they won't be able to complete the job this year.
Says, we are doing the best we can, but the season has been extremely busy with fishery work. Please feel free to retender all of this work, as we are doubtful that we can have all of this worked out in this calendar year.
And, yeah, like I said, it's not like, I've been on them, but they just keep putting me off. So I have a meeting on September 10th with another company. They're gonna come look at it. Nothing will be done this year, obviously, because September, the water's gonna start going up. But anyways, we're gonna see, we'll get pricing from this company and, see, hopefully they're close to what Provincial Underground are, and we'll just move over to them. But, since I put the patch in Bear Creek on that culvert, it hasn't dropped an inch,
No,
so.
staying good.
Yeah, so I'm pretty confident that should last until we can get, somebody in next season to reline that culvert. I mean, if stone cutters, something happens there, at least we can close the road. And I have no worries about Hart. We were doing that just because we had grant opportunity.
Okay.
Bear Creek's had a lot of weight on it this summer, hasn't moved an inch, it's had steady.
Yeah, like I said, we put those patches on and then Geotech and Corey B and so it's there.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. So now we move along and,
Now it's Will's.
now it's Will's. And this is strictly the submission of a grant application. And we all received this information. And Will, do you want to explain it? I know you've already explained it to me.
Yeah, so we're getting the opportunity for a grant for per station, 8,000 to 10,000 for cancer prevention, which will give us the opportunity to have a few spares, set of bunker gear, gloves, hoods, washer and dryer combo for station 2, so they can wash coveralls and hoods and to keep us into service quicker, keep us down on time. Because right now, when they go out to get clean their bunker gear, we have no spare gear. So our frontline firefighters don't have spare gear. So we're hoping for no calls or trying to find spare sets. So this will give us the opportunity to have a couple sets ready when theirs is out. So we put in for 21,000. So we asked for 20, and we had in the budget and the PPE and health and safety to cover the balance. So it's a nice little project. There's 2 more years of funding coming, but they don't know what it's going to be and how they're going to distribute it. But this one was for cancer prevention.
Safety is always paramount, so.
It's a great opportunity.
Yep.
But we won't be moving forward with it if we don't get the grant for this
No.
year.
No, this is strictly grant.
Okay,
This is on top of our already budgeted items and purchased items.
any other comments or questions for Will? If not,
Great idea.
I need a mover and a seconder, Counselor Yam and Counselor Foot. So it's number R 2024-172, moved by Counselor Yam, seconded by Counselor Foot, that we authorize the submission of a grant application under the fire protection grant for the purchase of additional personal protective equipment for the Township of Nipissing Fire Department. All in favor? Carried. Next.
Community safety and wellbeing plan.
Pardon?
Community safety and wellbeing plan update for this year.
Okay, and it's interesting if you went through it and the different statistics and how the other surveys went in other communities. I particularly was interested in, this was all an online
Yes.
survey. And when you look at that, municipality of Powassan had 66, we had 9, Chisholm had 5, and Callender had 0. So evidently online may not be the answer to get everybody filling out surveys either, but this again gave us some good direction. It just supported some of the points that had already been made, and very, very well written, and I thank Chris for putting this all together.
It's a collaborative effort between the 4 municipalities. We meet every year for updates. I think next year we're looking at updating it more comprehensively.
Is there some way you can, we could get better community engagement in these?
We did put it out on our Facebook. Each municipality is responsible for advertising their own, so we did try it, but it was a short turnaround. There was some staff turnover at the municipalities this year, so that curtailed our working group, but hopefully by next year we'll be back to full strength.
Because I know there was looks like a hell of a pile of effort went into getting this.
And it was put together, it was originally commissioned for us in 2021 is when it was required. And in each year we meet and we update what we can. And we had some challenges where Calendar just went on with OPP a couple of years ago. So they didn't have the same statistics
were
we did, but we're all
missing 2
coming
years
into
of-
line.
Yeah.
And that will also help us to figure out those priorities. But in the beginning, we met with all community partners. And that was, it was a huge meeting, and we were under COVID restrictions, so we all met on a Zoom meeting. It was very large. And everyone had input, but every municipality is trying to put these programs or this report together, so it's.
I'm just disturbed at how little of the community was engaged in it. And it was all municipal, basically, the majority was municipal employee efforts. You can't know what they want unless they type the same.
I agree. We'll continue to try and engage.
So I need a mover and a seconder, and I'm looking that way. Yes, thank you. Scott, and Counselor Kirky. So it's number R 2024-173, moved by Counselor Scott, seconded by Counselor Kirky, that we accept the updated community safety and wellbeing plan regional report as presented. All in favor? Carried. Okay, the next one, reserve and reserve fund policy.
This had been brought to the previous meeting for review. The only big change in this is that we have council review.
Right, originally, it was done by staff only. That's in the yellow on page 3. Council shall review this policy for relevance and update as required at least once per council term. So again, it's coming back to council again and again. another resolution, but again, we have to have these things in writing, so we do handle the reserve and the reserve fund properly. So are there any comments or questions? None? I need, oh, did I see any? Oh, okay,
Just, I would like to incorporate the review of the reserve policy with the budget process each year, moving forward. I think that's the best time to do it.
do you want to go? Yeah. So I'll move her in secondary, Councillor Yam and Councillor Flood. Switch number R 2024-174, moved by Councillor Yam, seconded by Councillor Foot, that we approve the updated reserve and reserve fund policy as presented. The reserve and reserve fund policy approved by resolution R 2018-106 is hereby rescinded. All in favor? Carried. Okay, correspondence. That was a dirty eye, just shot him. But anyway, seeing a township correspondence. Made for some great reading. First of all, District of Perry Sound Municipal Association Fall 2024 meeting, Friday, September 27th in Point Oak Barrel. I see the excitement welling amongst us. Okay, now, if you looked at the agenda, Danny's gonna be there.
Yeah, so
And that's positive. Healthcare update, age friendly, again, seniors. Social robots, we already have those at East Home. Maybe I didn't tell you, we have social robots at East Home. Land acknowledgements, maybe we need some direction on that. Of course, lunch, the housing tax force from Dave Gray, job market from Stacy Fiddler, and I know we get that monthly, or, yeah. And planning changes, cutting red tape to build more homes. And of course, the resolution at the end, so you'll be asking at this meeting or the
Yes,
next?
at this meeting.
Ooh,
Well, just so we can get the resolution ready for the next meeting.
okay, so who the heck wants to go? Okay, Steve wants to go, and I said, I'll leave no man behind, so I'll go as well. And, so,
I'm available.
Okay. if you would love to,
That's right.
love to have you. So that's that. Not as good, agenda as the last one or two before that. More things that were pressing for us, but who knows, this may be high in our priorities later on. So moving along, the next one is the resolution for the Township of Sterling regarding public sector salary disclosure. This comes up because since 1996, the sunshine list hasn't changed a bit. And now in the public sector, there's a lot of people that are making $100,000 and good for them. I never made the list, 32 years, so I'm a little disappointed. But more and more, and it's whether we want to support this or not. They're saying it should be updated so it reflects the inflation rate applied each year, the requirements to report public salaries. So we can support it, or we can just continue on happily down the road. Any comments, or questions?
I'm happy down the road.
Everybody, okay, we'll go with that. The next one, minutes of the Recreation Committee meeting. We've read that, we've heard about it, and the totals from the last time, so that's definitely an information item. The next one, okay, the gap in federal infrastructure funding for the Canada Community Build Fund. This is federal infrastructure funding, And also they're suggesting the gas tax funding is
That
going
is
down.
about the
Yeah.
gas tax. Okay.
So gas tax is going down, we know that. That came up at AMO and.
And AMO's looking at it too. The
and
resolution was forwarded to AMO as well.
Right. So I think if we hang in, AMO's gonna give us some direction on that. Because, I mean, everybody's gonna agree with it because who wants money funding cut? So this will come and hopefully we can do it all in one big mail out. Mayor Liggett of the city of Cambridge on the mental health and addiction crisis. That came up more and more. And that was at AMO again, and it's just information on mental health and addictions. And if you look on her second page, should you wish to obtain a copy of the results or schedule a time to speak. So, and that came up at AMO as well, but again, it's really individual. Every town, municipality is finding different discussions or different, levels of mental health and addiction. But for more information, that's the person that you would speak to. Now, the next one I find interested as well. Township of Nairn and Hyman, the Corporation of the Township of Baldwin. I didn't realize this, but the federal and provincial government are exempt from planning. So what they've decided is this place, they're gonna take Norm, which is
Naturally occurring.
radioactive materials. And they're going to take them to Agnew Lake along Highway 17 corridor. And they can do that because they can. Now, the problem here is what they're asking us to do, if we want to support this, that the areas that are influenced be consulted in the future. If you're going to have place radioactive material in that township, maybe you'd like to consult, we can't stop them, but at least you would know, and maybe you could have more public input. And questions like, how do they transport this? How will it affect anybody traveling on Highway 17? If there is a crash, how is that affected? So, I know they're exempt from planning, but perhaps we might want to support this and ask that in the future, wherever this happens, we're consulted. Just my feeling, like we have left field there, but what do you think?
They're hauling material out, Nova Botag Road. Buddy of mine lives down there, and it's right across from his place. That's where they're hauling the material out. They're hauling it down 17. Now, are they cutting across? Or are they going straight down 17 to 69?
I would then take out the new bypass, like if they're going to Narren, that would be their direct route instead of 64, and that's an accident waiting to happen.
Well, that's the question that's sort of not answered here.
Yeah.
And and the storage of it.
Yeah.
In an old tailings pond,
Yeah,
like we all know, we've all seen the horror stories of tailings ponds letting go after a big storm.
Yeah.
Because these aren't new tailings ponds. They're 100 years old now. And what's in them? They typically are full of sodium cyanide.
Be nice to know, like, especially on emergency end of things, what's rolling through our township and
exactly.
what do we need, or what should we know? What should we be worried about if we have to go to an accident? How are we notified that's what's in this truck?
Because if it's happening there, it could happen just about anywhere.
Yeah.
Whatever route they choose, or whatever placement, whatever deposit place they choose. Yeah, a little consultation wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, that's right.
So I think we're good then in supporting this, and we'll put that on the next agenda then. Okay, the next one, updates to the municipal election acts. And this comes from AMO. Believe it or not, right now, if you look at all of this, the Township of Russell, they're talking about the election, supporting AMCTO regarding that. We haven't seen the recommendations yet, have we?
Well, they're in the report. It's a
Okay.
60-page report. That's why we didn't print it and give it out to everyone. It is available. And the link was sent to all members of council, as well as there was a synopsis with
Yeah, it
that.
was like a 3 or 4 page, like at a glance, glimpse of the highlights.
But they're asking that the Elections Act be reviewed so that any changes could be in place for elections in 2030. So they're giving a large window for change.
And right now, the interesting thing is paper ballots are the safest way to conduct an election with artificial intelligence and everything else. So right now, we're on the cutting edge. We have the safest elections around. So
We should never change
we
that.
should change that. So anyway, if you want to read
Yeah,
the
we have a copy.
AMCTO, we have a copy, but I think right now, that's the way we're still with paper ballots, so we're good.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. The next one, Bracebridge. The resolution campaign on physician shortage. We went to a breakfast about that, and they talked all about it. And the one thing they did talk about was in our Northern Ontario School of Medicine has the best percentages of all of Ontario for retaining doctors. They come out of Northern Ontario or they stay in Northern Ontario. So it's real positive. So it was discussed at AMO. There was no resolution at that time but we have already supported Northern Ontario School of Medicine, and we have already had resolutions for more physicians. So we're ahead of the game again. So that's good. We are proactive, exactly. And then, let's see, the last one. Leave us on a good up note. The Inclusive Community Grants Program application didn't include us.
No,
So,
unfortunately, we're not successful. And I reached out to the program director for this area to find out why we were not successful. So if we choose to apply for it next year, what we could change or enhance our application. And she's out of the office until next week, so I don't have the whys until the next council meeting to update you. So I'll update you at that point of what we can do. So I'll have a meeting with her and get those details, so.
well, thank you. Hopefully, we will be successful in the future. Okay, any comments or questions on anything else in correspondence? Okay, move into secondary. Okay. Councilor Foot. And, it's number R 2024-175, moved by Councilor Foot, seconded by Councilor Yam, that we accept the correspondence as presented. All in favor? Carried. Okay. And Cheryl found it, okay? And now accounts payable and Councilor Foot, thank you for declaring. We'll look it over. I've had the opportunity to do so. And if there are any questions, we've got the big book here
Got
and
all of them.
Chris and Kim. have the answers.
So it's a new levies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the levies.
Although two cruisers went by my place screaming her yesterday. They were good.
So you got your money's worth.
Yeah, but I think they were going to another community. They were going to Resto.
To an unorganized
They weren't gonna
community.
shut her down in our community at Dusty.
Okay, well, they at least did a drive-through and we appreciate their presence. If no comments or questions, we'll move her into seconder and I'm looking over here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sunday's hand go up.
No. Looking that way, didn't see it in your glasses. It's number R 2024-175, moved by Councillor Scott, seconded by Councillor Kirky, with statement of accounts dated August 15th, 16th, 23rd, 28th, 29th, and 31, 2024, totaling $270,268.68 be approved. All in favor? Carried. And this. Okay. Now we're at number 10. And we're going into closed session, so somebody could leave now and still see sign up there, so that's a positive. So I need a mover and a seconder. Thank you. So Turkey, Councilor Scott. 720. So it's number R 2024-177, moved by Councilor Kirby, seconded by Councilor Scott, that this part of our meeting will be closed to the public as authorized by section 2392B and E of the Municipal Act 2001, C25, for consideration of the following subject matter. B, personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees. And E, litigation or potential litigation, including matters before administrative tribunals affecting the municipality or local board. All in favor? Carried at 7:22 p.m.